Hi, I'm Galen McCown from Galen's Games, and today I'm going to show you how to play Hard Drive. So, Hard Drive, let's get that to focus there. Hey, is a 1 to 2 player racing game about hacking a mainframe. So it's kind of like a Tron style racing game. This is Mint-in game, learn 5 minutes, play in 20 minutes, and this is part of an upcoming Kickstarter on March 24th. Everything you see here will be the prototype, and so everything is subject to change. So let's get that focus back in over there. Okay, cool. So yeah, let me take you through setup. We're set up over here. So each player gets a console card. As you can see, you're going to set your charge tracker, which these are a bit oversized. They'll get something smaller for the final version on 2, and you set your overclock tracker to off. The color of your overclock tracker corresponds with the avatar that you get, and these avatars are these cool little things. Again, gotta play with the focus there. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And they have a little fin, so they're like mouse cursor erasers that you can move around. So yeah, so you get the, like I said, corresponding one that matches the color of your overclock tracker, and you've got your little reference cards here. You set up the course cards, so 2 of the course cards have the start line / finish line on them. So those always go on the bottom, either side. These are all dual-sided, and then everything else gets kind of mixed up. You can flip to either side, and then you just set up the course like this. So you have 2 columns of 4. Each player picks an open space behind the line. Right here, there's only 2 open spaces, but could be different depending on the orientation of the cards. And then after that setup, you're going to pick 2 hacks. So there's a group of 5 hack cards, and they are dual-sided. So a total of 10 different hacks that can be in there. So you pick 2 and you place them at the bottom of the course, and then you just make sure you have your dice, including the red overclock die, and we are ready to, oh yeah, and you shuffle up your mod deck of the mini cards over here, and you got that. Everything else is for the Automa solo game, which I'll explain another time. So the way this game works, pick a first player, and then on your turn you're going to be rolling these 3 dice, and if your overclock is cycled on, you're also going to roll the red die. So let's go ahead and just roll to give an example here, right? And so these are my numbers. I got 2, 4, and 3. And the way you move around the course is by assigning numbers to go to matching numbers on the course, and you can go to any space ahead of you. It's all one track, so I could, for instance, go ahead to that 2 over here. But I've got one here too. So let's say I assign the 2, and I'm going to move here. Each one of these symbols means something different. Sorry, the fin ran out there. So that one says, you can pick up a mod card. So I'll just quick go through the different kind of things that you're seeing there. Let's go, there we go. Pink spaces are logic gates, impassable, but there are hacks and mods that can change the ability to go into those. This will give you additional charge. The one I just went on gives you draw a mod card. Overclock, cycle your clock speed. Should say on or off. We're going to fix that later, but clock's on or off. And then the routers, like these ones right up here, are going to push you in the direction that they show, right? So I have landed on a mod, so I will grab a mod card. And these guys basically allow you to do really, cool game-breaking things on your turn. You can play them and game them as many times as you are able on your turn. At the end of your turn, you have to discard down to 2. So that's the key thing there, is to discard down to 2 at the end of your turn. So I've got this right now. I've gone here. I could play it. Let's say, hey, I'm going to do it right now. I'll jump over. So I discard to play it. This logic gate, and I go over to the other side, which hits me on a router, which pushes me over here. Double routers, right? And now I've still got a 3 and a 4 to assign, so let's go ahead and do that. Assign the 3, and then right now you can see I don't have a 4 ahead of me, but one of the things you can do in the game is you can always spend charge to move a die up or down by 1, including turning a 6 to a 1 or a 1 to a 6. So let's go ahead and turn that 4 into a 3, so I spend a charge to do that, and then I move up to the 3, and it gives me a charge back. The other thing you can do on your turn is you can drift. So at any point, if I am on a space and there is another space of the same number, so right now I'm on a 3 and there's another 3 next to me, I can spend a charge to drift to that space, and I can do that at any point on my turn. I can also, at any point on my turn, if any unspent dice I have, I can turn in one to turn into a charge. So that can give you a lot of options for what you're doing as you're racing around the course. If the opponent is in a space that you want to move into, you are going to bump them in the direction you're going. So, you know, if it was, but they can't obviously be pushed into logic gates. So you couldn't push them here, but you would push them into the next forward space that you were able to, your choice. So you could go something like that if I were to bump them. Okay. Like I said, if you start your turn with the overclock on, you're also going to be rolling that red die, which gives you more options. So as the game progresses, as you're going along, as course cards are left with no racers on them, they're going to flip over and go to the top of the track, and everything shifts down. So it's kind of like a continuously evolving raceway. You know, the start line becomes the checkpoint, and the next time the checkpoint flips over, it becomes the finish line. So that's the timer for the race. The player who is the furthest over the finish line after an equal number of turns wins. So if the first player goes over first, second player still gets to get a turn to try to go further past the finish line. Second player crosses first, it's over. They win automatically because we've already had an equal number of turns. So that's how that works. The only other thing to talk about are these mods. So on your turn, if you roll a 1 or otherwise use your charge to turn something into a 1, you can activate a hack by placing your dice there once per hack per turn. So these do really, you know, kind of game-breaking things. So normally you can only drift to the same number. If you put a die here now, you can also drift to higher numbers than your current space. So you can really use your charge to push yourself around as opposed to the numbers. Just to give the other example, clip through a wall, move off the edge and appear one space ahead on the other side. So, you know, if I had a purple player has a 1 to assign, they would go off this edge and appear one space ahead on the other side by placing a 1 there. And that is all there is to the 2-player game. Hope this was helpful for you, and thanks for watching.